Speaker.
Mr. Chairman, I do appreciate the opportunity to make what is in fact my first contribution throughout this committee stage on the Local Government Auckland Transition Provisions Amendment Bill. Sir, relating to an earlier point of order, there are a number of members on this side who have not yet had the opportunity to make any contribution to this debate. Our whip has asked for some leniency to raise matters which may span across Part 2 and other parts. I have some specific new material which is important in the local Auckland context in my own electorate of New Lynn, and I wish to put that on the floor of the House today. I'm going to then draw some specific conclusions from that, which I would ask the Minister to comment on. These are serious matters that go to several, probably hundreds of millions of dollars of future investment in my electorate and relate to previous expenditure of around $400 million of public funds invested by Auckland City Council, Waitakere City Council and the Crown in the development of New Lynn to date. Now, the jumping off point for this issue is in fact in Part 2, Clause 170, which speaks about the closing date for submissions on the proposed plan. And it's the definition of proposed plan that I wish to reflect upon. And also in Clause 1711, the issue of concurrence of sessions becomes important in this real-life example. Now, sir, I need to go into the facts briefly, and I hope that if I haven't completed it, you'll give me some leniency on the call. Sir, in New Lynn, starting about 7 years ago, a major redevelopment project was undertaken pursuant firstly to the old Waitakere City District Plan and then a special charrette-based planning process that was crystallised in a concept document that was circulated for consultation in 2010. There was broad buy-in to that document. It was a published book. It was a vision for the future of the New Lynn Town Centre, which has now become one of the main metropolitan hubs under the Auckland Unitary Plan. That was 2010, published by the then Waitakere City Council. Sir, what that led to was a series of plan changes, including Plan Change 17, which rezoned much of the area around central New Lynn, which is now in a large special housing area. Important to note, and I'll come back to that. That in turn facilitated the dropping underground of the double-tracked Western rail line, the realignment of several roads and the completion of a new urban transit centre in New Lynn, which has in turn transformed the town centre. An issue has subsequently arisen, sir, that transit centre made it possible for New Lynn to intensify housing development, and I'm advised that over half of the property within a kilometre radius of that transit centre has now changed hands since that investment took place, and it's a dynamic and very different urban environment. Now, sir, there is a new development on what was the Crown Lynn clay pits and the recently vacated Monia Tiles site owned by the Australian corporation CSR Corp that has been purchased by a company called Avanda. And, sir, that is looking to build around 1,800 apartments on a combined site area of, I believe, around 9 hectares. This is a very intensive urban development for which the planning is critical.
So can we tie it to Part 2?
Yes, sir. Under the proposed plan in 2007, so the words in 170 proposed plan, sir, relate in the minds of local stakeholders to the consultation document published in 2010, upon which the plan changes were based, which were then reflected in the current Auckland Unitary Plan. The issue, sir, which has arisen is that the special housing area and the subsequent Stage 1 consenting decisions appear to have been made arguably at odds with certainly the concept drawings and the spirit of the 2010 plan, and that raises an issue for this hearing panel.
And how does it raise an issue with Clause 2?
With 170, sir.
170? Yeah.
And the Minister may wish to comment on whether the proposed plan that this refers is the original plan upon which a large-scale development was based, or whether it is the current plan at the time which the concurrent hearing panel sits? That's the first question that comes out of this. The second is, what is the interdependency between the plan and any special housing area? Mr Chairman, Mr
Call
Chairman,
the Honourable
Mr
Hekia
Chairman.
Parata.
Mr Chair, I understand